Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Kim Richards' ups and downs over the years. Arrests, sobriety journey and more. Kim Richards has faced her fair share of ups and downs over the years. Kim, who is the sister of Kathy Hilton and Kyle Richards, got her start as a child actress. In 2010, Kim joined the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alongside Kyle. While on the show, Kim opened up about her struggles with substance abuse and seeking out sobriety. When I first started the season, I was still not drinking and you could see my confidence level. And then you could see just from my behavior when I lost my confidence and started drinking, Kim said to Andy Cohen during the Rob Season 2 reunion in February 2012. I could not watch the show when I saw that behavior coming out of myself because I was so ashamed of what I'd done. After a series of personal struggles, which included multiple arrests, Kim exited Rob as a main cast member. However, she has appeared off and on since Season 6. Keep scrolling to look back on Kim's ups and downs over the years. Multiple divorces. Kim married first husband, Monty Brinson, in 1985. The following year, the pair welcomed daughter Brooke Ashley. In 1988, Kim and Brinson amicably split. Shortly after her divorce from Brinson, Kim moved on with Greg Davis, and the pair wed that same year. The twosome share daughter Whitney and son Chad, whom they welcomed in 1990 and 1991, respectively. Kim and Davis divorced in 1991. Fiancé's murder. Following her split from Davis, Kim began dating John J. Collett in 1991. They got engaged a few months later. In October 1991, Collett was murdered outside a deli in Northridge, California. At the time of his death, Kim was on the phone with him. 2 years later, in June 1993, a man named Marva DeCarlo Johnson was found guilty of Collett's murder and was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison, per The Hollywood Reporter. Kim had a variety of issues with her pit bull Kingsley. In 2015, Kim was sued after the dog allegedly attacked her then-neighbor. She was ordered to pay $266,000 in damages 3 years later. Kim's former assistant also sought legal action against her former boss after the dog allegedly attacked her. Kim and the assistant settled the suit. During Season 5 of Rob, Kim and Kyle were at odds over Kingsley after the dog allegedly bit Kyle's daughter Alexia, which resulted in a hospital visit. Kim, "My daughter almost lost her hand. It infected the bone," Kyle said to Kim in an episode. "Why do you think she was at Cedars-Sinai for 5 days? How do you think I feel? Do you know that Alexia had an 4 with a bag for 3 weeks?" Kim addressed Alexia's incident in a 2014 statement. Alexia has been away from college for months and hasn't seen Kingsley in a long time. Kingsley is used to the home being full of children, and since the kids have gone away, the house has become quiet, she wrote at the time. While the two have been very close and friendly in the past, the dog has become very protective of me in the meantime. When guests are over, Kingsley stays in my bedroom and has been given access to a special fenced-in area in my backyard. Anyone entering the house is made aware that the dog should not be bothered. Drug use. Kim admitted to using drugs during a tumultuous April 2015 interview on the Dr. Phil show. After walking off stage in the middle of the sit-down, cameras caught an exchange between Kim and her son, Chad. Chad accused his mom of not being sober, to which she stated she was not drinking every day. "I live with you. I'm not saying you're drinking, but you're taking pills," he said. "You do this every once in a while. You smoke pot." She admitted to doing it every once in a while. Kim Richards has lived her life in front of cameras for nearly 5 decades, from beloved Disney child star to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills lightning rod. But while fame has followed her from childhood, so have struggles. What makes her story so captivating is not the chaos, but the comeback. For every scandal splashed across tabloids, there has been a quiet moment of healing. For every arrest or relapse, a renewed vow to keep climbing. Kim's life has been a pendulum swinging between breakdowns and breakthroughs, and she has never stopped trying to find balance. From child prodigy to Hollywood pressure cooker. Before reality television turned her into a household name once again, Kim Richards was America's sweetheart. She starred in Escape to Witch Mountain, Nanny and the Professor, Return from Witch Mountain, and dozens of film and television projects. She was earning more than most adults before she could drive. But the glamour came with consequences. She later admitted that growing up in Hollywood meant growing up without normal boundaries. Success came early, but structure did not, and that lack of structure would be a recurring theme in her life. The Real Housewives roller coaster. When Bravo cast Kim in The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in 2010, she appeared soft-spoken, fragile, the shy counterpart to her outspoken sister, Kyle Richards. But as the seasons progressed, viewers saw cracks in the facade. Kim slurred her words. She missed events. She clashed with Kyle in explosive fashion, famously being called a liar and an alcoholic on national television. It was a moment that shocked even the most hardened housewife fans. For the first time, addiction, usually whispered about behind closed doors, was thrust under studio lighting. Kim didn't deny it. By season 2's finale, she entered rehab. What the world saw as humiliation, Kim chose to rebirth as accountability. But recovery is rarely linear. Legal troubles and relapse. In 2015, headlines blared. Kim Richards arrested for public intoxication at Beverly Hills Hotel. The details were surreal, allegedly kicking a police officer, resisting arrest, hiding in a bathroom. Just months later, she was arrested again for shoplifting at a Target. To critics, it was a downfall. To Kim, it was yet another bottom. One she would later say was necessary to rebuild for real this time. She completed court-ordered rehab and community service. But legal requirements alone don't heal decades of emotional wounds. Sobriety demands spiritual recalibration, something Kim began to pursue intensely. Sobriety, setbacks and spirituality. Over the years, Kim has openly shared her ongoing journey with sobriety. Unlike many celebrity redemption stories that present recovery as a neat before and after, Kim's has been raw and real. She's admitted to relapses. She's confessed to loneliness. But what defines her now is perseverance. She often speaks about meditation, self-forgiveness and healing her relationships, especially with her sisters, Kyle and Kathy Hilton. Her appearances on Real Housewives in later seasons showcased a softer, calmer version of Kim, one who no longer fought to prove she was fine, but instead acknowledged her fragility as part of her strength. Healing family wounds. The relationship between Kim and Kyle has always been at the center of her public narrative. The limousine fight. The Amsterdam meltdown. The tension over Kyle producing American Woman, a film loosely based on their upbringing. 4 years, their sisterhood was a battlefield. But time and therapy has changed that. The sisters have worked tirelessly to mend their bond. Today, they appear more united than ever, attending family events, celebrating holidays together, and sharing gentle words instead of reality television knew her as the quiet yet fiery star of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Kim Richards was Hollywood's golden girl. A child star with wide doe eyes and commercial-perfect dimples. She was Disney royalty before she was old enough to drive. Roles in Escape to Witch Mountain, Nanny and the Professor, and countless guest spots made her a household name across America. Fame was not something she sought. It was simply woven into her DNA. But as Kim later learned in very public fashion, early stardom doesn't come without shadows. For decades, Kim danced on the line between celebrated icon and tabloid cautionary tale. Every ascent seemed to be followed by a punishing descent, and every fall in turn became the spark of another comeback. Her journey, from Hollywood princess to fallen star to resilient survivor, is as turbulent as it is inspiring. From Disney darling to reality TV wild card. In 2010, Bravo cast Kim Richards as one of the original Beverly Hills housewives, reintroducing her to the world after years away from the spotlight. Viewers expecting a polished former actress instead met a woman fragile, distracted, and to many, clearly struggling. Her relationship with her sister, fellow housewife Kyle Richards, became one of reality TV's most gripping storylines. Their emotional confrontation in the back of a limousine, with Kyle accusing Kim of being an alcoholic, became instant Bravo history. The veil of glamour had been ripped off. The world wasn't just watching Kim Richards, it was watching her unravel. Yet even in her most chaotic moments, fans saw something deeply human in her. She wasn't the villain. She wasn't the diva. She was hurt. And she was trying. Legal troubles and public meltdowns. By 2015, Kim's struggles became impossible to hide. In April of that year, she was arrested at the Beverly Hills Hotel after reportedly causing a disturbance while intoxicated. Charges included public intoxication, trespassing, and battering a police officer after allegedly kicking one in the leg. Just 4 months later, she was arrested again. This time for allegedly shoplifting over $600 worth of merchandise from a Target in the San Fernando Valley. It was a shocking fall from grace. The former Disney star, once America's sweetheart, was now splashed across headlines for arrests and relapse. Critics called her out of control. Fans called her lost. Kim herself, later reflecting on those moments, called it rock bottom. The fight for sobriety. But Kim Richards is not a woman who stays down for long. Following her arrests, she entered treatment programs and began publicly acknowledging her decades-long battle with alcohol dependency. Sobriety was not a one-time achievement for Kim. It was, and continues to be, a daily war. She relapsed on camera, stumbled in interviews, and faced setbacks that would break most people. Yet with every slip, she climbed back up again. She leaned into her role as a mother, to daughters Brooke, Whitney, and Kimberly, and embraced becoming a grandmother. She spoke openly about her pain, her childhood pressures, and the lingering trauma of being commodified at such a young age. Sobriety, for Kim, was not only about abstaining from alcohol. It was about rebuilding her identity separate from fame, sisterhood, scandals, and healing. The world watched a relationship with Kyle fracture, heal, and fracture again over the years. Their dynamic, deeply bonded yet painfully competitive, struck a chord with anyone who's ever loved someone they also resented. But the most recent chapters of their story are softer. Kyle has spoken warmly about Kim's progress and stability. The two sisters have reunited for family events, supported each other off camera, and though never immune to tension, seem to have found common ground at last. Even Kathy Hilton, their famously elusive third sister, re-entered the dynamic through later seasons of Rob, bringing the trio back into the public eye. The dynamics were messy, emotional, and undeniably entertaining, but also deeply real.